Why, hello, friends. Welcome to the last episode of the journey to the World Championships. My name is Dylan. This is Lost in Space TCG. And yeah, I guess this has to be the last episode, right? Because we are past the World Championship. This is the Wednesday after. I waited a couple days after Worlds to record this. One Monday, I was honestly kind of dying. I think I fatigued myself by just doing non-stop Flesh and Blood for the better part of like 2 weeks. I took off. I've taken off 2 weeks of work. The week of Worlds, the week after Worlds, to like hardcore test and like recoup afterwards. So that part's been nice. The week after part, the recouping has been beautiful. The week of was stressful, very stressful. I think everyone who talked to me could attest that I was pretty excited but stressed about it. So let's dive in to talking about Worlds. If you're not familiar with the channel, there's a couple other videos to go check out. There's some videos of me playing gameplay, but there's also me talking like this at a camera on my computer with a microphone in front of my face, talking about events and talking about how, when it comes to TCGs, the three things I've always wanted to do was I wanted to win an event, which we did. Which we did again, actually. Fun fact, in the intermittence between the last video and this, we won ProQuest plus Baltimore and got ourselves another PTI, which is always fun. I won a top 8 US Nationals. I have not done that. Still working on that one. And I want to play in the World Championship. So, because of the fact that I won an event, I got a PTI, and I was able to redeem it to play in the World Championship in Philadelphia, which is basically my hometown. I don't actually live in Philly, but it's close enough that I can consider it my hometown for anybody who asks me, who doesn't live in Philadelphia. Now, or like doesn't live in the state of Pennsylvania. The east side. I think I would tell someone who lives in Pittsburgh that I live in Philly, but you know, white lies. So, Worlds has come and gone, and let's talk about it. I've recorded this a couple different times. I'm not exactly sure. I usually have a lot more scripting when it comes to this. We're kind of free. We're free-forming it. We're having fun. And just kind of talking about it. The other times I've recorded this, I talked about my ProQuests and like how those went. I didn't win a ProQuest. I did win a ProQuest Plus, which is the rebranding of the PTI events. So I won a PTI. I'm going to use that on Pro Tour Yokohama because I want to go to Japan. I've never left the country. I think that'll be a really good reason and a really good place for me to go. I have two of my close friends who are going. 3, actually. So I can go hang out with them in a different country, play Flesh and Blood, a game that I love a lot. And yeah, very excited for that. So Worlds. Worlds was 2 different formats, right? It was CC and Living Legend. It was 5-round CC day 1, 3 rounds of LL day 2. And they announced that we have to go 5 and 3 to make day 2 of Worlds. Now, if you had talked to me for like the last 2 months, and they were like, Dylan, what is your goal? What do you want to do? I would have told you I want to win Worlds, because of course I do. I want to be the world champion of a card game. I want to win $100,000 plus 2 prize cards and all this stuff. Like, that's what I want to do, right? The soft goal was actually just a day 2. I feel like I would have been proud of myself if we had day 2'd the world championship, because, you know, it's the best of the best players. These are the best people in the world. We have to qualify to be here. You have to earn your right to be here. Or spend $700 on a PTI, but different. No slack to the people who do that. You still obviously deserve to play in the World Championship. So, like I said, 5-round CC, 3 rounds LL. When it came to picking decks for the World Championship, CC was the easiest decision I think I've had in a very long time. I have played almost exclusively Gravy Bones for the last 5 months. US Nationals came out. You can watch the video about me landing on Gravy there. But we played Gravy there, and then we've played him in Kansas, and basically everything since. I've been tirelessly working at my Gravy deck list. I think I want to say it's one of the best deck lists for Gravy. If not, honestly, the best deck list. I have put in the time and work. I'm so confident in so many of my choices. There's maybe like 3 spots that I would understand if people were like, no, I don't want to play this, I want to play something else instead. And that's fine. It's player preference. Like, I play Pearl Amulet. I'm a huge believer in Pearl Amulet. I have friends who have seen me do uncouth things with Pearl Amulet, and they don't like it. Like, they don't like playing the card. But they have seen it, they acknowledge it, and that's fine. So blocking Gravy was super duper easy, right? I've known I've been on Gravy for forever. Living Legend, kind of a mix-up, kind of a toss-up, because of the fact that the format is volatile. We've had, like, what, 3 ban lists in a couple months for that format? And none of them really made the format good. It was, like, kind of good, and then they shook it up, and then the shake-up was, like, a little too intense, because it made RuneGate Chain unstoppable again, despite Warmongers being, like, at 3, and maybe unstoppable is a little hyperbolic, but whatever. And then they shot RuneGate Chain, kind of. It's still a deck. It's still good. I mean, there's 4 chains in the top 8 of Worlds, right? Though I haven't looked at their deck list to see if they were RuneGate or Boomer. I think Nero was Boomer, if I'm correct. I'm still working my way through coverage. I watched all of day 1, and I believe he was on camera at one point day 1. So they've done a lot. I tested a lot of different decks. I did not really enjoy my time testing Living Legend. I wanted it to be better than it is. I think the concept of the format is great. I love Legacy and Magic. It's like the only format I'd even consider touching anymore. It has two of my 3 favorite heroes ever are decks in that format. Hell, 3 of them. All 3. Gravy's a deck in LL. I love Gravy. You can play that there too. You have Tipples again. You have your cups. The glasses are crooked. Recording this video has made me realize that my glasses are broken a little bit and shift. So grinding LL. We had people over my house. We had like 12 to 14 people sitting in my living room playing LL for an entire day. We went and got sushi. We came back. We played more LL. I built 6 different decks in paper to test it. I played Zen. I played Droma. I played Briar. I played Icelander. I played Prism. I played Viserai. I did all this testing. I spent 12-hour days. I took off time of work, like I said earlier, hopefully in this version of the video. 12-hour days to just play this format. And you can ask, if you know me, or you know anybody I know, you can ask them. I was crashing out a good bit early last week about playing Living Legend. I did not like the time that I was having. But of course, I'm going to put that aside. I'm going to play, right? Like, I'm going to do the thing. So, all of this long-winded nothingness about Living Legend aside, we have to go 5 and 3. We have our 2 decks. We end up on a Viserai list that I actually feel really comfortable with. There was a last-minute change and addition that made the deck feel better. For me, it made my mana base a little bit more consistent. It allowed me to tweak some things, and we'll go over the deck list towards the end. Like, we'll do the talking portion, and then we'll talk about the deck list afterwards. So let's dive into it. Round 1, CC. We play against Andrea Mangucci on Verdance, Thorn of the Rose, and this is a matchup that, Gravy's very good into Verdance specifically. It's, in my opinion, it's like a 70-30 matchup. So much has to go right for the Verdance, and so much has to go wrong for the Gravy for them to win the game. I'm talking like you have to have tree, you have to keep the tree around, you have to draw the spells and just dome the Gravy. If the Gravy has an anti-fatigue package, I don't think you can win the game. And Andrea's obviously a very good player, historically very good Magic player. It was a pleasure to play him and meet him. It was kind of like on my bucket list, which was cool. We ended up taking the win. There was a couple misplays and some things that happened towards the end of the game. Unfortunately, I do think my opponent didn't enjoy the game as much as I did overall, but that's okay. That's Worlds. Round 2, we pair into a Puffin. I'm trying to have the names of my opponents behind me, so if you see me look down, it's because I'm looking to see their name. So we played Yours Verhelst on Puffin. It was a good game. I took a ton of damage early on. I weirdly have a good amount of testing in the Puffin on Boost Puffin because a buddy of mine recently started playing the deck, and then I know a couple people who like have been grinding Boost Puffin. So in the last like 2 weeks looking for testing when I was trying to get some CC games in there to decompress my brain from making rune chants. Did some time into that. It's always a good game. I ate a bunch of damage early on. He ran out of cog generation, and I had sent a pretty important Conqueror that he was full on pressure, right? I sent Conqueror. He gives me like 3 cards to block it out, and it's like very indicative that obviously this arsenal card is important, so he wants to keep it alive. But he gives me cards that resets tempo, and we're able to like just do the gravy thing. Once you give gravy tempo, it's very hard to unshake it unless the deck, of course, gives it up, because sometimes he does that. Round 3, we pair into someone whose name I definitely asked him how to pronounce it, and I do not remember, and I apologize. They were also in Verdance. They presented Talishar the Lost Prince. If you know me, this is my favorite Verdance to play against, because I love playing Gravy and Fatigue. I think it's so interesting. You get to do so many cool things with the deck. Like, you can build backlight breakline stacks with your Chart the High Seas, and like you get to do Pearl Amulet plays and Golkis Rum, like you double Swabby, double Whaler, like all this stuff. We're playing Remembrance, like, and really playing Remembrance just kind of slams the door most of the time, because you're like, yeah, I'm going to target my 3 Conquerors of the High Seas. We had a cool line. A Judge got called because my opponent wanted to make sure this is how it worked. I established Whaler, I swung Whaler, he took 8. He had been protecting his arsenal for a while, so it was safe to assume it was an Evergreen, because he presented Talishar. He's trying to fatigue me. So he takes 8 from the Whaler. He might go to 8. He takes damage on the Whaler swing. He goes down to 1 card in hand. He plays the Evergreen. No, he takes more damage because he has 2 cards in hand. He was playing around Fearless. God, we're so far removed. We're far enough removed that I can remember what happened in the game, but not the exact order. He like plays an Everbloom, puts an Everbloom back on the bottom of his deck. Verdance pings the Whaler, sends the Evergreen into it to play around the Fearless that's left in my deck. And that's fine. We go, okay, he dies. In response to the Watery Grave Trigger, I'm going to play Remembrance from my arsenal, and we will put Whaler and 2 Conquerors back in the deck, because I have 1 left. Calls a Judge just to make sure that's how that works. Watery Grave is a trigger. You can respond to it with an instant, so on and so forth. So we're able to, we have 3 boats left in deck. We have a Whaler. He's on like 5 cards in deck at low life total. So we just get to shuffle back and just do the thing. End up killing him. We fatigue him, but, game ends. Round 4, we play Josh Wrath on Kasai, Centauri Sellsword. Is that the name of the adult Kasai? Is that the Blitz one? R.I.P. Blitz. We play Kasai. It's Kasai of the Golden Sand. Playing to Kasai. Get basically destroyed. My game plan, playing into Kasai, right, is trying to force them into playing the fatigue game. Because I think when I am able to play the fatigue match, I'm going to win like 90% of the time. Because my deck is built for fatigue stuff. It is what it is. The problem with Kasai is they can just decide to try to kill you. So, I have like an off turn. I'm unable to pressure at one point. He's able to just go like untap and blood on her hands for full value and present to me infinite damage. I like go from like 35 to 18. So I take 17 there. My turn is decent, but not enough to like pressure his life total enough that like I'm able to win the game or anything like that, or like shift us back into that blocking situation. I think my chart hit like Conqueror Sink Below at one point. I had to hard cast an ally from hand. I think it was like turn 1 was like play Swabby or something like that. Not a good game. We got beat up. That's okay. We're X1. We're 3-1. We need to win 2 games. 2 games and we make day 2. We've hit the soft goal. Round 5, we play Phil Kinney. Phil is also on Kasai. I go, oh no. What is it? What is my luck that we pair into double Kasai? And at this point, I'm like, okay, we're starting to doom a little bit. Just a tiny bit. A little tiny bit. Thinking about the dooming. We're like, okay, man, what do we do? What do we do? We play the same sideboard package. We take out the Remembrance. We just, for we play like a hybridized version of like my aggro and fatigue package. We don't play the remembrance because it did not look good in the last round. And we just kind of do the thing. Like we just gravy and have 11 gold at some point. Like we're capitalizing. Like we have good boats. Our hooks are hitting. Our allies are dying still, but they're getting their value. And it was a good game. But we get there in the end. So we're 4-1 in CC after 5 rounds. We're moving into LL. I need to win 1 round. 1 round to make day 2. And I'm confident enough that I can at least get 1 round in LL. I might 1-2 LL, depending on how my matches shake up. If I just play Visceri mirrors and pair into like this weird stuff. My Scalata, like my Sonatas don't come to me, stuff like that. Because that's kind of what the mirror is for Visceri, is who can stack chance to get the Sonata faster. There's some cheesing that you can do, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. So round 6, first round of LL, with pairing to Taylor Crawford on Marlin. Marlin is, if you've ever played Magic, it is Thoughtseize.deck. It is, I will hit you for like, let's say 7 to 8. Let's say that's it. Let's say they connect for 7 to 8 every turn, but they're always looking at your hand. And they're taking an attack, a non-attack, or one to two colors that you care about. That's their on hits. Most of the time, if you're an aggro deck, you care only about the attack action when hitting you. Visceri cares about the attack action, the non-attack action, the red one, the blue one, sometimes the yellow one, less often that one. So I'm a little shook. I spent, I want to say about 3 hours playing this matchup, the Monday before Worlds, with one of my teammates on Righteous, and I won 2 games out of like 10, and I was like, oh man, I don't even know what's going on. Like, I don't know what's going wrong here. I'm just getting bopped. I like played D-Reacts, I was playing Reduces and Sinks, I was playing Unmovables at one point, and we end up cutting the second set of D-Reacts, and we cut the Unmovables, and we just run the Reduces. And my thought process is, screw it, we're just trying to be consistent. If I can scam on a turn with a D-React to avoid something, that's good. We'll play balance into the matchup. And as long as we're able to build up enough of a stack, scam a turn, untap, and send Sonata, we should be able to win. And that's basically what happens. I forget, I think it's turn 2, I make 17 rune chance. I like eat the attack action Harpoon to the face for 16, show him 4 non-attack actions, and then go like Mordred Tide, make 17 chance go. He is only able to send like the yellow Harpoon at me, and I have Sonata, and I blast him for 9th Blade Sonata for like 26 damage. So we end up getting there. Taylor like concedes basically to me showing him that turn, and then me having like a follow-up real turn afterwards, because the life totals are like 19-2 or something like that. Round 7, we play Jude Cornett from Team Snapdragons, I believe, on Starvo, and they're doing the pummel tower Goliath gauntlet stuff to blow up all the chance against people who were playing like the stack Viscera stuff. Their whole plan is to try and scam you and like into making a bunch of chance, and then they blow them up by towering thing. So we sideboard inappropriately. We have like the D-Reacts and whatnot. I understand that like that's what the game is going to be, blocking a little bit. I send like mini stacks at him because I know he's trying to do this thing where he like punishes me for building up a bunch of rune chance. So I don't want to give you that opportunity. I want to work your life total down as much as I can, and then once I get the opportunity to stack, kill you. It goes well. We do the thing. He has an Amulet of Echoes in play, which is cute. I get to Sonata, and then it is cool because like the Sonata, I could have taken like double Rune Rager Swarm, but because of the bell, I took like Rune Rager Rune Flash thing. And I mean, the one thing just ended up being mana anyways to pay for, I think my Sword Swing or something at the end. But so we win that. The important thing I didn't mention about winning the Taylor game is winning the Taylor game locked me for day 2, which was super exciting. I was pumped. I like ran over to Katie basically immediately afterwards. I think she was like standing in line at Iswardi's booth like to get my Sawbone signed. So I'm like, run over to her, super excited, be like, oh my god, one, I have 30 minutes left on the clock. That never happens because it's playing Gravy. Two, I'm locked for day 2. Woo! We hit the soft goal. And then we're X-1. We're still 6. Like we're 6 now. We're 6-1. We've beat Starvo. And now the next round we pair into Austin Henson from the Runaways, who's on Viserai. We play the mirror. I go first to make a bunch of chants. And what we were doing tech-wise for the mirror, and by we, I mean we had I had a friend of mine who was on a similar list, and he deviated a little bit at the end there, but I was playing Warmonger's Diplomacy. Because the concept was either, if I draw stack hands and Warmongers, I can stack, and then tell you you also have to stack, but I'm ahead because I can break first, right? Or I can send a bunch of damage at you, and then Warmongers you. You've eaten all the damage. It's the Zen concept, right? Like, we have enough go-again attacks that I can send 25, 30 damage at you, Warmongers you, and then have enough damage to probably pressure you back. So we do that. We have a big Warmonger's turn. It stuns him for a good bit. We have a beautiful Face Purgatory line that just, like, time walks him. So we end up getting there. That's the mirror. We end the day 7-1. I'm 10th after Swiss. I'm ecstatic. I'm so happy. Top 8 is basically within my grasp, right? Like, we can see it on the horizon. It's got to win out. I can take 2 losses, maybe 3, because I believe some X4s did in fact make top 8, but we're factoring in for 2. I want to win Worlds. That's the goal. Winning the World Championship is the goal. So we go. We get dinner. I go home. We get some good sleep, and then we're back the next day. Table 1 on camera. Jacob Allen against Starvo. Now this game is really, really good. I think if you go and watch this game, it's like one of the... I want to say it's one of the best games played on camera outside of the top 8. Unfortunately, it goes to time, and we draw. I'm a little grumbled about that. I have deterministic lethal. That's okay. We draw. The time rules in Flesh and Blood suck. We all kind of know that. 1 turn each is a little miserable. Taking a draw is very punishing in Flesh and Blood. Because to my knowledge, unless it's changed, it's like it just doesn't exist in tiebreakers. And this also means that this is my second feature match ever at a Calling Plus event, and I've drawn twice. That's it. Those are my only 2 draws in Flesh and Blood, period. Which is the crazy thing. I have like 2 other games that I can think of ever that have gone that long. And I have conceded, or the opponent has conceded to me, because it's like clear that one of us is actually going to win the game. But that's fine. We draw. It's round 9. We're 7-1-1. Effectively, we're 7-2. Round 10, we pair into Pei Tong Lao. Viserai Mirror. I put him to 2 on my combo turn. I'm at 28. He Sonatas. He has 12 chance. He adds a bunch of stuff to his hand. He kills me. That's the mirror. That's how it goes. Round 11, we pair into Dennis Sheng. He's on Starvo. Also doing the Tower Crush thing. It's a good game, but we get there. We take the play to win line. The play to win line gets rewarded by a strong Sonata. We do the Sonata thing. He's at 28. I get a Douse from Runeblood, make 9 chance after it, or off of it because I had Mordred, non-attacks, and then I had Malefics in the background. So we just kind of blast people. And then move back to CC. Now, at this point, we are 8-2-1. Still very live for top 8. There's 4 rounds left in the day. Very happy with how we're doing. But a little nervous, because if you go back to the Nationals video, I think I say something along the lines of, man, if we could just draft another pod, I know I can top 8. If we just play 4 more rounds of LL, I'm pretty confident I can top 8. Because I think I'm one of the better Viserai players in the room. I think I can navigate all these matchups. There's a lot of Starvo at the top tables, and I feel good about that. I feel decent about the chain matchup, which is the other like populated thing. The Dio deck scared the crap out of me. I don't know how to beat that outside of just high rolling and then low rolling. But the Stubby's like combo deck is pretty consistent. Back to that Stubby Hammerers thing. So we're back to CC. We play into Justin Irby, who's on Arachne Marionette. We play a really good game. We take a good amount of damage early on. We're able to do our thing, and we win. Great. Cool. I look around at the rest of the top tables. Verdants. A lot of Verdants. Like, a lot of Verdants. There's some Syndras around me, but not too many. So I go, okay. Feels pretty likely that I'm going to pair into a Verdants. And if I do, good. Great even. Pair. It's Thomas Bailey Galbraith. Not Verdants. It's Syndra. Okay. That's fine. We're 9-2-1. We expect that we're going to play into some Syndras. It's going to happen. It's the most represented deck in the room. It probably converted the best. Because why not? Pair into Syndra. We get curb stomped. It's like life total close. And there is actually an angle in which we can possibly win the game. There's a big gold stack turn that I just whiff on blues. The turn is supposed to be like go again attack into Conqueror into play Sawbones, swing Sawbones. It's a lot of value both on offense and defense. We're able to threaten the arsenal. We're able to play out a guy that they're probably going to kill. And we get to tie the life totals really close. I draw a bunch of reds, and unfortunately those reds don't allow me to cast the Sawbones. And that ends up basically killing me, because their hand was an off-turn hand. So if we're able to draw out and play the guy and do the thing, because of that off-turn, we might have been able to win that. But that might be results-based thinking. It is what it is. We lost the game. Move on to the next one. We can't dwell on it. The mental that I was working on for this tournament, basically, to practice, was just focusing on how to differentiate each game to game. So not letting the prior round affect the round that I'm in. The draw was frustrating, and that definitely factored into the Viscerai mirror a little bit. It didn't help that we had like a long deck check. I don't know what happened. We were good on my side. I don't know. There was the judge brought my opponent away and talked to him for a little bit, and then there was nothing else about that. Whatever. But it was just a lot of downtime for me to sit there and be like, man, I just drew on camera again. This sucks. But yeah. So whatever. Move on to the next round. We initially pair, and I'm against Lucas Oswald. Verdants. This is my Verdants. My day 2 Verdants. This is... The Gem Gods gave me Syndra and said, get wrecked, nerd. But they also then gave me a Grass Lady to throw boats at. Well, they repaired that round, and I did not get to play against a Verdants. I instead paired into Matthew Wrens on Acilio. And we were able to get there. We sent a Conqueror, turn 2. That was pretty important. We play what is a pretty good game for Acilio Gravy. It's pretty Acilio favored. Gravy has to just draw boats. You just have to send Conqueror as much as you can. And it's the only way, really, that I feel like you win. I got a lot of good value out of Chum on the combo turn. Chum saved me 8 life there. Got to do the thing. Thought I was going to lose it because we did have some bricky draws at one point. That's round 14. We're 10-3-1. Okay? We are live for top 16. We are most likely out for top 8 because of the draw. Maybe there's a world that we're the X4 that can sneak in, but again, I'm pretty sure because of the fact that draws, I think, are no value when it comes to tiebreakers. We're dead. We're playing for 10th, basically. So, round 15, we pair into Brody Spurlock, who is a friend of mine. And we have played, I think it's the 4th time we've played now, and we've had great games each time. So, he's on Syndra. I tell him, Brody, no. Brody, why did you do this to me? This is a personal vendetta. No. We play. He lets me go first. I made a mistake. I did not do the correct turn 0 play, which is super obvious, and I am disappointed in myself for not doing it. But that's okay. We pull out a chum, we do our thing. The correct line was to pitch the 2 blues in my hand to play the chum, and then discard the sawbones in my hand, so I have it for next turn in case I draw like a bricky, no ally, no go again hand. No, I pitched the blue and the sawbones, and then arsenaled a ravenous rabble or a murderous rabble. I don't know why I did that. I thought I wanted the starter, but like he's obviously gonna kill the chum, or I'm gonna make him kill the chum if I draw the ally. So we just kind of lost that one mentally on that play, not the game. We play a good game. It's like pretty back and forth. His deck is a lot more consistent. He's just like, he's got fealty, he's jamming stuff, he does not have an off turn. And he beats me. It's a good game. We end at 10, 4, and 1, which is good enough to prize worlds. In fact, it gets me top 32. So I got 25th, which is awesome. I was much better than just day 2ing. We got the cash worlds, we got a PTI out of it. We get World Tour points out of it for the next season, so I'm going to have 10 points. We got a bunch of ELO, even though that part doesn't matter anymore. They're killing that one. But the number will go up, and I'll be happy about that. And, yeah, I got to feel like a lot of my hard work paid off. I don't know. It's pretty awesome. I'm pretty excited about that. And it serves as motivation to do it again next year. But maybe this time we'll top 8. Yeah. So that's the end of the talking portion of where I look at a camera to talk to you. There's not a ton of B-roll. I didn't have time to shoot B-roll, unfortunately. So production-wise, this video is definitely going to be the worst, I think, of the ones that we've done for an event. We'll work on fixing that for next time. We're going to be doing a bunch more events next year and probably doing some more story time related things. To everybody who came up to me or messaged me on Discord or anything like that, or Facebook, all that stuff, thank you. I appreciate you greatly. I love it. I love each and every one of you. To the people who wore Broken Earth merchandise, which is the store that Katie and I are opening together, thank you. If you want to join the Discord, that's going to be in the description down below. We're going to probably do an open merch order at some point for people. I would love to see, 1 or 2 more. We have a pretty awesome logo. And, I don't know, if you wear it to something and I see you, we'll take a picture and I'll give you, like, a sticker or something and a big hug. I don't know why I'm doing the thank you stuff now. We're going to do that towards the end. I'm going to go talk about the deck lists. It's been 33 minutes. Hopefully that's not too long. But, yeah. On to that. Alrighty, folks. We are on the portion where we talk about my deck lists. We talk about what I played. So, we're just going to talk about CC first, which is Gravy Bones. This is, the exact list that I played. This is basically the list that I played in Baltimore for the ProQuest Plus, which was, the only difference here is in Baltimore I had 2 of these and none of this. This card is absurd. We all know that now. God is good. It's so good. I hate that it's that good, but like, man. Yeah, it's pretty standard in the main board, right? Like, nothing too interesting here. I'm playing 2 blue Restless Bones. This card felt amazing. I'm playing this card in every matchup, because while it's sometimes a do-nothing, it makes you a gold, because sometimes you're not playing Scoob, so these in the graveyard, it doesn't matter. You just get a gold out of it, so you get basically to convert these into extra value. There's a lot of random yellows now in the format. There's random stuff that you can tag. Like, it's a control element against Verdance. This is basically, it's the same, for the most part, as the other videos where we've talked about what's going on. I don't love this card. I like it as a 2 of. I don't like having 3 copies of it because I'm not playing a ton of allies. I have the standard 10 in all the time. And then we're +2 in aggro matchups, which we'll get to that in a second. In the fatigue matchups, we have more of them, and then you can pitch stack them for Jittery Bones and stuff like that. Because you can pitch stack Gravy, which is fun. It's a really rewarding experience, but it doesn't always do the thing you want it to do. And you don't want to, like, give this go again. If you're like rumming this into go again, at least it's 4 damage. The other cool thing about this though is you can use like sending this like boat into this it's 12 damage. A 4-card 12 is the most on-rate thing you should ever see in your life, right? But it's like pretty decent. Other than that, I think everything on the main board is pretty stock. Yeah, again, like this card is crazy. I think you need to play this card, even though I do hate it. Just ETB make 2 gold. This part's a little less relevant in most matchups, but it just gets the engine going, gets you doing your thing. Yeah, so we had a 51 card deck. We were always adding minimum 9 cards. It really is a 54 card deck because there is another blue card that was like stock 3 of in every matchup. So I'm gonna have this list down in the description below. But you know, I always had this card in my deck. We always played 3 copies of Fearless Confrontation, and then 3 copies of Blood in the Water, 2 copies of Sink Below. These are the 5 D-Reacts that we played. I played all 5 in aggro matchups. In non-aggro matchups, I would primarily play like 2 Blood in the Water for like Verdance, because you still want to be able to block Felling of the Crown. In the Mirror, I played all 3 copies because it eats the Conqueror, but it also eats other random stuff, and it accelerates your game plan, right? You can discard an ally, you can discard the Pearl, stuff like that. 1 red Swift Water Sloop, the mini boat. I think this card is good. I think a lot of people and a lot of lists are severely lacking some extra damage when it comes to the red cards. I don't want to go super duper hard on adding reds into the deck because they do contradict your game plan. And every time you hit a red off of chart, a Scoob doesn't get a snack. But 2 for 6, it does the thing. Curving big boat into small boat into ally swing is beautiful. It's just a great way to extend turns when people don't really know what's going on. Swelling into this, into something else is also really good. 1 copy of Remembrance. For every fatigue matchup, it's gorgeous into the Mirror, it's gorgeous into Verdance. Putting Conquerors back in your deck is just uncultured. It does some messed up stuff. You also can just like Watery Grave trigger, target some of the stuff here too. Ally-wise, 2 Scoob, 2 Swab, 1 Whaler. If you can find room for a 3rd Scoob, I think it's correct to try it out. I played 2. The 3rd one really helps the Mirror. If you have a lot of gravies in your area, playing a 3rd one is pretty damn good. This is, I don't know, 2 Swabby feels correct. There's not really much else you can say. Does not have a big butt, but he's got a big swing. And then 1 copy of Whaler. I know some lists are on 2. I think 1 is perfectly reasonable with like the Remembrance, and if you're just smart about when you play your Whaler, if you're able to turn 0 him and they can't kill him, obviously you get to do the thing where you just swing 11 until they can answer him. But in Fatigue, if you just like leave him in the graveyard menacingly because people don't play Gravekeeping anymore, you just cast him when you need it. So that's why I have 1 copy of Given a Quarter for like a pitch stack thing to be able to play Whaler and swing Whaler and then do some Pearl Amulet stuff as well. If you have like a chart in Arsenal, you can rum the Whaler and Pearl him the same turn that you play him. 2 copies of Loot the Hold, aggro stuff. And then equipment-wise, we played Base of the Mountain, almost exclusively for the KO Armed and Dangerous matchup. I did not side this card in once, all day. I used the entirety of my sideboard otherwise, though, except for this and this. But this is like stock for the Gravy matchup. You have to have it, right? I just didn't get to play the Mirror, which is unfortunate because I do love the Mirror. Crown, I play into like Syndras and stuff that don't draw 2. I know Syndra can draw 2, but I like being able to, if you have like a Durkee card that you have to Arsenal, just being able to cycle that card into a real card in hand can be pretty good. And then AB2 Flexors. I am the worst Wizard player ever because I am just ignoring the idea that I can pair into a Kano, and like I'm just not playing AB3. You don't need it to beat Verdance. AB2 is perfectly fine. And then for Cilio, I think you have to AB1 and play Flexors anyways. Against Cilio, I play Hood and then Flexors, and then obviously the two equipment that don't ever change. The other thing is, like, playing AB3, if you have Chess Piece, you don't have Dead Threads resources, and Dead Threads can do a lot of work. Especially if, like, they are killing, the Verdance is killing your ally. If they are killing your ally and, like, sending, like, Waning Moon or something else, like, you can pitch a blue, AB2 something, Dead Threads, AB2 again. It is what it is. So that's the gravy list. Overall, like, if I were going to Seattle and there wasn't a ban list, I would play this exact same deck list again. The Syndra matchup is obviously dubious. That's gravy bones in a nutshell, but I think this beats basically the rest of the format without much issue. This list is very good into the mirror. It just feels really good. Very rewarding to play. So yeah, I imagine when the ban list rolls around December 15th, that we'll either see something get taken out of the deck, maybe we'll get Tibbles back, and they, like, kill Chum. I don't know. I have no idea what they're going to do to the format. I think they do need to do some things, but again, I'm not exactly sure. But let's move on to this deck list, which is funny to talk about because of the fact that LL is kind of irrelevant now. I don't know the next time that we're all going to seriously play this format. I imagine when we do, this card will not be legal, because if I didn't talk about it in the talky talk part of the video, this card is messed up and shouldn't be legal. It's really fun to play with, and you can do some cool lines that don't involve this card here. But it's just not okay. It's just, like, not an okay card. And I talked about it with a good amount of people who were like, well, what if you just ban Sonata? You can do that, but then you just turn him into, like, Sonata Phantasmia deck, and you also then still have the Florian Germinate thing. So you just gotta kill this card, take it out back, put it down. Otherwise, Equipment Suite, we play Duskblade. I do actually regret having mono Duskblade in this list. I wish I had found room for Reaping Blade. I was on Reaping Blade up until, like, the Sunday before the event. I was confident that there would be a lot of Starvo there, and they're playing fruits, so I was like, dang, dude, my Reaping Blade's going to shut off their fruits. And then I got talked into it that that Starvo was bad, and then I switched over to Duskblade, which Duskblade is broken. It's really, really good, but sometimes the static ability of Reaping Blade is just good enough. So I wish I had found room for one more equipment in my deck, but other than that, the card was great. Face Purgatory. So, I think the controversial part of my Viserai deck list is going to be a sentence that I have echoed since Dynasty came out. I hate Cash-In Viserai. I think that deck is bad. I think Cash-In and Viserai... The thing is, and it got better after Rosetta because of the fact that, like, your random draws got better. But for a very long time, Viserai was a deck that didn't want random cards. Drawing 2 cards out of nowhere just wasn't good. Because what if you draw, like, 2 non-attacks that don't do anything? Like, if you draw, like, Read the Runes Amplify, and you're like, well, I don't go again. Like, what do I do? It's better now because of stuff like Malefic Incantation, Rune Rager Swarm, the fact that you're playing 6 Rune Flashes, stuff like that. But I still don't love it. So instead I went for consistency with my headpieces and allowed me a little bit more flex room on my sideboard. So we went with Face Purgatory. I think this card's amazing. You get to just kind of schemaz random things. If you watch my camera game, I had a pretty good Face Purgatory against Starvo. I had another really good Face Purgatory earlier in the tournament against the Starvo as well, because they don't always fuse, and you need to be able to, like, clean up some stuff. And then this card's broken. This card's broken. I don't think I have to talk about Grasp or Spellbound Creepers, right? The best thing about this card is it sometimes makes your opponent think about this card, so they'll do weird stuff. I don't know how many times I actually activated Creepers. Enough that, like, it did its thing, but sometimes it was honestly just an Iron Rod. Other than that, the deck list is pretty normal. Playing Red Amplifies. I played Drawn to the Dark Dimension, with the inclusion of 3 blue Malverian Skies in my sideboard. This was the last minute addition that I made. My voice is going. I'm so sorry, folks. So, the blue Malv Skies, I wanted to be at 18 blues. And originally, Cody Williams, who is a good friend of mine, was at my house playing Living Legend with us. And he goes, you have to play Tome of the Arcanite. Tome of the Arcanite is how you be the guy. To win Worlds, you have to be the guy. So you got to play the card that rewards you for being the guy. And Tome is the ultimate be the guy card. Because if you're the guy, you're going to reveal an attack and a non-attack action and add them to your hand. If you're not the guy, you whiffed. So I added in 3 non-attack blues, went up to 18, was playing Tome, and I stopped playing Tome because I was like, I don't actually think this card is worth playing anymore. At least in the current iteration of the deck. But I did like the idea of having another blue non-attack in that spot. So I combed through everything. I looked at my folder, my binder of foil Runeblade cards, and landed on, oh, well, Moth Skies has to be pretty good. Moth Skies is pretty good for a couple reasons. 1, it's another blue non-attack. You can pitch it to pay for things. 2, it gives Go Again to stuff. The important things to give Go Again here are your big amplifies, if you're Runic Reckon to amplify, or Ninth Blade of the Blood Oath, because if you can start your Sonata turn with your Ninth Blade and not have to worry about, oh my god, how am I getting back up to this many rune chants? Well, Malverian Skies fixes that problem. You have 6 ways to give your Ninth Blade Go Again off the rip, to where you pop your Scalata, you Sonata, you add your Ninth Blade, you go, cool. Machinations, Ninth Blade. Moth Skies, Ninth Blade. But also, it's good with this card. This card without Go Again, kind of medium, because at best it's a chain ender that puts you on an arsenal. With Moth Skies, it's a good starter. So, that was the main deck. It was 51 cards, similar to Gravy. We were always adding 9. We were always adding... it was actually 53 cards, sorry. It was always adding 7 non-attack actions and 2 attack actions, but the 2 attack actions were Douse and Runeblood, and they're the only attack actions in my sideboard, so they were just always in the main. And then other than that, package-wise, we had the Sonata Galaxia package, so 2 Blessing of the Occult, a Runeblood Barrier, Read the Runes, Galaxia. We had some Rattlebones, we had some D-Reacts, some Revels, and then Balance and No Rune Boots. And yeah, that was the deck list. It felt great. I would, if given the opportunity to play another LL event, while I don't love the format and what it looks like currently, I do love Viscerai, so I would take the option to play my Purple Boy again. This card's a mistake. I do think this deck will still be good without this card. It'll obviously just be a little bit more fair. You're not going to delete someone randomly on turn 2 or turn 3 anymore, and I think that's okay. Surprisingly, I do think that is healthy for the game. So, that was the deck list. Both of these will be in the description down below. There'll be a little 2-minute thing afterwards, where my face will be back on the camera talking to you guys. But, yeah. Play the deck lists. If you have anybody who still wants to jam LL with you, play this list. Let me know how it feels. Play the Gravy deck. Tell me how it feels. Tell me I'm silly for playing Pearl Amulet or something like that. I'm always welcome to the feedback and discussion, especially about, again, one of my favorite decks. Alright, folks, that was the deck lists. Thank you for watching. Thank you for if you've liked or commented or subscribed or anything that after any of these videos. I appreciate you. I know there wasn't a ton of content between Kansas City and now. In fact, there was 0. Something I want to work on. I want to actually start doing a little bit more of this. Whether that just be gameplay videos like we were doing on Talshar, maybe streaming a little bit. We'll see. I'm going to enjoy the off-season here. I'm not attending an event until calling Columbus in January. So I'm just going to enjoy relaxing. I'm not going to go to Seattle. I don't think there's anything else between now and then that I'll be attending. I'll be at Pro Tour Yokohama. I'll be in Columbus, and then we'll see from there. I will go to the Pro Tour in Vegas, obviously. I will go to Nationals. We'll probably do some Sage content between now and then, because I've been enjoying the format. I've been playing it a good bit, playing a bunch of different decks and having a lot of fun. But let me know down in the comments below if there's any type of content that you do want to see. If you play the deck lists that I played for Worlds and have comments about them, let me know. If we met at Worlds or we played at Worlds and and you came up to me, anything like that, comment down below. Let me know. And again, I did a little bit of thanking. It might have got cut off, but I did a little bit of thanking and shout outs at the end of the last talking part of it. Just want to do some more. So it's to thank you to everybody on Team Righteous. Just dropped my keyboard. That's the team that I'm on. Tyler, Jeremiah, Zach, everybody. I really appreciate you guys, letting me be a part of the team, helping me out with the testing, helping me refine the deck list, all that stuff. Everybody on Team Mew, which is like the local Philly team, or like testing group that we have. Appreciate every last one of you, especially everybody who, like I said, bought Broken Earth stuff or Broken Earth stuff. Your picture definitely at some point will be in this. We'll have our bumper will be the Zach gold foil opening from top 8ing. Shout out to Zach for top 8ing another calling with Kano. One day you're gonna win something without Kano, and I'll be so proud of you. I'm still proud of you now. Man, the Kano win rate is absurd. Kate, if you're watching this, a million thank yous to you. And then all my local people, Cody, alternate universes, and everything like that. I just appreciate the support and also making me have to try and be good at this. I don't know. It's always weird doing the thank yous. Yeah. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Also, shout out to Nathaniel, the artist for Gravy Bones. I don't have it, but he did an amazing signature, like the full frame signature for it, and they were able to fast track that for me because I asked them, and I was playing in Worlds, and I was like, hey, I need this for the World Championship, do you mind? They were able to get it done, and it's an amazing signature. I'm very excited. Hopefully you'll be coming to another stateside event, or maybe I'll see you overseas, and I'll be able to get more stuff signed by you because your artwork is spectacular. Yeah, I don't know. Other than that, folks, I love you all. Thank you, and have a great rest of your day. Bye.
Oh, no.
All right, here we
Top
are.
8 of the Living Legend calling. Zach
Kano,
Miller,
baby.
Kato
Kano.
player. Let's see what we got here.
You ready, guys?
Oh, no.
We got Prism here.
Prism's
Prism's here with us.
She's watching.
Footsteps.
Does it feel like
It's not a puzzle, man.
Does it feel like an EA?
You're good.
This way?
That way.
No, other way, other way.
Other way, this way?
Yeah.
This way?
This way.
You sure?
Yeah, we're so sure, man.
It's the back.
You've
Okay,
opened like
okay,
four
okay,
of these.
okay.
How do you
Ready?
not know how to do
Aren't we
this?
the only ones
Flip
here
it.
who've gotten gold foils?
I don't know.
Flip it around.
Ready? 3, 2, 1, come on!
Is that good or bad?
It's not bad.
Do you want to kill yourself?
No, I won't swan dive today. No swan.